Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're actually finally building something that isn't a rental lot or an apartment or a townhouse or some sort of a rental lot that came with the for rent pack. We're actually back, we're building a family home. It is a smaller-ish family home. I did call it a small family home because it is 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, but it's on a 20 by 15 lot. So it's not like it's big. It is a little bit more compact, especially the living spaces. So yeah, I don't know. There isn't a lot of yard space either because I do have 2 buildings in the backyard. So obviously at the front we have the main house. But the bigger building that we have at the back is actually kind of like a little separate, like almost granny flat type space. Although it's not really a flat, it's more just like a separate bedroom and bathroom. And then we also have a little like gazebo, I don't know what you would call that, like gazebo pergola type outdoor space. So that is actually going to be all open air, and I'm going to have like a dining table out there, a grill, some plants, you know, stuff like that your Sims would actually use when they're outside. But other than that, there isn't all that much lot space on this lot because it is a 20 by 15 and I did need this house to be 3 bedrooms. So yeah, it didn't end up having a lot of yard space. So I do some landscaping later on, but it's nowhere near as like expansive as I would normally like to do landscaping, especially for a build in this style and especially for a build in this world as well. I feel like landscaping in this world of Tomarang is going to be such a fun thing when I actually get to building on bigger lots where I can do more landscaping. But yeah, so I don't know, I really like the way this lot turned out and the way this house turned out. And as you guys could probably tell from the title, this is the first official build that I'm doing for my save file for Tomarang. So in case you guys didn't know, in case you're new to the channel or, you know, you just haven't seen a lot of my like save file videos, I am working on a Sims 4 save file. The first version of it is out. I was planning or hoping to have the second version of it out during this year, but as a lot of you already know, this year was an absolute complete shit show and I did not get to even half of the things that I wanted to do, half of the goals that I had for myself. It has been a very good year in some aspects. Obviously, there have been some really great points of it, but the majority of this year, like after May, has, even when good things have happened, they've been very like bittersweet. And I'm not going to get into it too much, mainly because I will start crying. But yeah, it's been a very rough year, so I have not had the time or the energy to get the second version of the save out. I have been working on it, but obviously I've been working a lot slower than I would normally have liked to work because I've just had more going on. I've had more things that have like taken up my attention, like things that I need to get done, and next year is probably going to be much of the same because I am going back to school. I have gone back to school, but I haven't done even half of the work that I need to do, and I need to write my final exams for 2 subjects that I absolutely despise in like May or June of next year, and I've barely started with the actual work for them. So yeah, I need to get my butt in gear where that is concerned. I basically need to get like an entire year's worth of work for 2 subjects, economics being one of them, into my head in like the span of 5 months. So that is going to be something else. But any case, I'm very much getting off topic here, but basically I do have a save file. I am working on it. I do upload builds for it to the channel. I also upload these builds to the gallery as well, so if you want to like download them before the actual full version of the save is out, then you can do that. But basically, the first version of my save is Willow Creek, Oasis Springs, and Newcrest. Completely, no, not Newcrest. What am I saying? Not Newcrest. Willow Creek and Oasis Springs are completely done and like rebuilt, or, you know, some of the places have been remodeled a little bit, but most of them have like just been completely rebuilt, where I have a lot of new families. I have so many clubs and relationships and all of those things already set up in the first version of my save, which you can see a like overview of it that I always have on my channel. I have it in all of my video descriptions as well. It's right at the top if you want to go ahead and check it out. But yeah, I do have that one out. And then during the course of this year, obviously, I've been working on the second version. I've been working on getting some more worlds done and more families done and all of that stuff. And I do upload them to the gallery as I do them, as I put out the videos and stuff. So yeah, definitely go ahead, check that out if you're curious. I also have a bunch of playlists on my channel of like rebuilding specific worlds, where I have all of the builds that I've done for a specific world all in one playlist. I have, even if I did create a Sims for those worlds, like obviously I create a bunch of families, but I don't always do create a Sim videos of that. But if I do have create a Sim videos of those families, they will also be in those playlists. I probably won't be able to list them all in the description because there's a lot of them. I have one for basically every single world in The Sims 4 at this point. But I will try and link, I don't know, maybe I can't link sections of playlists. Like if you go to my main channel page and you scroll down, you should see like a section of like rebuilding the worlds or something like that, and then all of the playlists will be like underneath that, like all organized. But in any case, I'll try and see if I can link a couple of them down below. But yeah, so I do have that, and this is the first build for my save that I'm doing in Tomarang. It's the first one that I've felt up to tackling because I'm not really sure what I want to do for a lot of this world. Like with the introduction of the new residential rental system, I have had to kind of like rethink a lot of the previous plans that I had for some other worlds. So for a lot of them, I have a very clear idea of what I want to do in those worlds. Even if I haven't gotten around to it yet, I have a fairly clear idea of what I want to do. But with the introduction of this new lot type, where we can have actual townhouses that function properly, and apartment buildings and duplexes and all of those kinds of things, it's kind of made me have to reconsider a lot of what I had previously planned, because a lot of my original ideas were, you know, involved, you know, some townhouses, some duplexes, stuff like that. But I scrapped those ideas because I figured, you know, there's no real point in doing it because they don't function properly. And, you know, I never thought we would get the ability to make them function properly, so I scrapped them and either already did something else on those lots, or have completely different ideas or families or stuff set up for some of those lots, and now I need to go back and kind of like redo a lot of it, or like at least rethink a lot of it and like reshuffle some things. So that's been like, it's been interesting trying to come up with solutions for that. Because yes, I'm absolutely obsessed with the rental lot type now, and I will be using it in every single world wherever I can. Obviously, I'm not going to go back and redo some of the Willow Creek and Oasis Springs builds. I'm just not going to do it. Some of them that are meant to be multi-family households, or like multi-family multi-household lots, I guess you would say, like the trailer park in Oasis Springs, for example. That is currently just one household with 3 Sims, whereas, you know, ideally it would be 3 separate households, each in their own trailer. So I will be going back and fixing that and actually turning that, I think I already have, turned that into an actual like rental space where they have their own separate trailers. And like the duplexes that I built in Newcrest a couple of months ago at this point, I actually did go back in and make them 2 separate builds, or like 2 separate spaces, so you can have 2 separate households in them. Obviously one of them has a household in it already, but the other duplex is furnished but there's no household in it. So I have done that, and at some point I will go through and upload all of those like changed builds to the gallery, and I'll upload all of those builds. I haven't done anything else to them. I haven't done anything like any structural changes or furnishing changes or anything like that. I literally just changed the lot type and actually, you know, sectioned off the different apartments or townhouses or whatever. I will actually at some point upload those to the gallery as well, so that if you guys want to download those and, you know, like put them in the save file that you have, or, you know, update my save file that you have downloaded with the updated versions of the builds, then obviously you can totally do that. But that is going to be at some point. I don't know when. I don't know if that will be this week or next week or when it will be, but I will get around to it. Now, coming back to this build a little bit more, because I feel like I haven't talked about it at all. But this build is for one of the pre-made families. It's one of the EA families. It's for the Bun Ma family. And I am saying their name completely wrong. I did not write down the names of the actual Sims themselves. But yeah, I'm not going to try and pronounce their names in any case, because I will get it wrong. But this is for the Bun Ma family. That's basically a grandmother, her son, his partner, and her grandson, I believe. Yeah, her grandson. So basically she had her son move back in with her, with, you know, his like partner and their child, so that she could help them raise their child. They're both very, like, the son and his partner, they're both very like career oriented Sims. And, you know, they are very like, you know, they're both quite high up in their careers, and, you know, it's not like they are workaholics or anything like that. They don't have those lifestyles or anything. But I feel like, you know, the grandmother wanted to be a little bit more involved in her grandchild's life. So she had them move back in with her, and that's kind of the way I furnished this house. So the main living space is very much more like the grandmother's style. But then the entire second floor of the house is actually where 2 of the bedrooms are. That's actually where kind of like, I guess you would say the main bedroom is, and then the toddler's bedroom is. But the main bedroom I actually gave to the son and his wife, and I decided to put that little like extra building in the back for the grandmother. So she has her own bedroom space, she has her own bathroom, so she doesn't have to share a bathroom with, you know, her son and his family and all of that stuff. And I just figured that worked out a little bit better. So even though this house would technically be the grandmother's, you know, maybe she's given up the rooms in the house, maybe she prefers being outside, and, you know, she's close but she's not like sharing a space with them all of the time, obviously. So she doesn't have her own kitchen or anything like that in that little outdoor bedroom space. Is literally just a bedroom and a bathroom. I wanted to make it a proper little like granny flat or something, but honestly, with the lot being the size that it is, and because I wanted that outside gazebo, you know, pergola space, whatever you want to call it, I didn't want to make that flat area for the grandmother too big, because then it felt like it was taking up too much of the lot, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is what I ended up going for at the end. So the son, I believe, is actually the one that's in the tech guru career. I know one of them, yeah, the son is in the tech guru career, the wife is in the bodybuilder career. So yeah, they do have a couple of trophies, you know, from work and stuff like that. And obviously the son has a fairly nice PC setup up here, and, you know, space where he can get some of his work done, and, you know, all of that fun stuff. And then obviously, you know, downstairs they have the living room space, kitchen, you know, all of that stuff, dining table, and the bathroom is actually downstairs as well. And this build does have laundry. I did put in some laundry machines upstairs and a couple of laundry baskets around the place. And I also forgot to mention that this is the first build that I have done where I did not pack restrict myself. So all of the other builds that I've done with this pack, or that I've put out with this pack, have all been pack restricted to be like either to basically, yeah, just be base game and the new pack. So this is the first build that I'm putting out that hasn't been pack restricted. And it was actually really, really nice seeing how well a lot of the other pack items work with this pack and with the items in this pack, especially items from Island Living and the Courtyard Oasis kit. I was really surprised how well the Courtyard Oasis like door especially matched some of the swatches of the doors and windows and stuff in the pack. So yeah, that was really, really nice. And I used a bunch of different things. I believe I stuck with windows and stuff from the new pack, apart from those doors that go into the bedroom and like kind of like the back door of the main house. They are from the Courtyard Oasis kit, but all of the other windows I believe are from the pack, and then the doors inside are just, I think, base game. So yeah, I tried to use a mix of a couple of different things because obviously, like I said, this isn't pack restricted at all because it is for my save file, and my save file is not pack restricted. So yeah, just something fun I thought I should mention. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I really did. I had a lot of fun just playing around with different items that I haven't gotten to use yet with this pack and with these builds. So I'm really looking forward to doing more of like these non-pack restricted builds now that I have done quite a few pack restricted builds, and I am working on a couple more for my like land grab rentals series where I build a rental lot in every single world, and they will be like pack restricted to the sense of like they'll be base game for rent, and then whatever pack that world came with. So for like Windenburg, I will be building with base game for rent and get together, for example. But for Willow Creek, just, you know, base game for rent, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that is something that I am working on. But that is basically it for this build, you guys, that I have to tell you about it. Like 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, the price of the build, the original lot name, lot traits, download links, gallery ID, all of that fun stuff is always in the description. And yeah, it will always be written in the description and have more information down there, all of that fun stuff. But something else that I did want to talk about, like real life wise, and sorry if this is a little bit of a downer, but I am not doing great at the moment mentally, and it's been a really hard, obviously a lot of you guys know why it's been a really hard year for me. I'm not gonna get into that more than that, but basically usually before this year I never really liked Christmas. I never really liked this time of year. It was always a difficult time for me. I mentioned this in some of my older videos, like from a few years back and all of that stuff. It's not my favorite time of the year at all. I kind of actually despise it. So yeah, it wasn't going to be an easy part of the year to begin with. Now this year especially, it's even more difficult. So I am not doing great. And not just like mentally, but my sleep schedule is also completely screwed up at the moment again, to the point where I wake up at like 12 p.m, 1 p.m, and then I can't get anything done because there's no more time in the day. By the time I get started on something, it's already evening again, and I have to make dinner and, you know, do all of that stuff that I hate. So yeah, I haven't been doing great. I have been struggling. I've been kind of like, I feel like this year with everything that's been going on, both the bad and the very, very good and exciting and things that I did enjoy, and you know, all of that stuff, it's still like taking a toll on me, like physically and emotionally, and I'm just tired. Like, I'm very, very tired. So for the rest of this year, I don't know what content will look like. This will be the only video out this week. But next week, I am going to try and get out at least one video next week. And I'm not going to say at least. I will only have one video out next week. And I'm not going to make myself feel guilty about that either. I'm going to try. But we'll have one video out next week. And then I will pick up with more regular content in the new year once I know a little bit more of what my schedule will look like, and we'll navigate all of that once we get to it, basically. But just as a little heads up, if I'm a little bit more quiet the next couple of weeks, that will be why. It's not because I'm like avoiding anything. I am avoiding stuff, but that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, with all of that said, you guys, we're almost done with this build. We're going to go ahead, jump on into the game. I'm going to give you a proper look around this build in a little live tour. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into the game. So here we are with the finished build. And as you guys can see, it's set in this absolutely gorgeous area of Tomarang with the most beautiful view of, like, I don't know if this is an ocean or a lake. I think it's an ocean. But yeah, it's beautiful, and it's called Hothotok Shore. I'm not saying that correctly at all, but I will have the correct name written out in the description, like I mentioned. But yeah, so this is the front of the house. Like I said, I did not go too overboard with landscaping because there wasn't a lot of space to go overboard with landscaping. But I did put in at the back, I did put in a couple of these pretty lanterns, and if you go to nighttime, they do actually light up, so it's really, really pretty. I love the way this place looks at night. I also put a couple of sized down versions of them in this little like gazebo space, so yeah, I love the way that looks. But yeah, so let's take a look at probably the backyard first, I guess. So over here we just have a little porch area with a couple of yoga mats. We have a little rocking chair, we have some seating, a grill, you know, all of that fun stuff that gives your Sims something to do outside. I do have a fan out here as well because I believe it can get quite hot in Tomarang. Now going over here, we have a little space down here where I actually have obviously a tree. But we also have some gardening planters because the grandmother is really into gardening. So she does have some space to do some gardening, some plants over there. There's also a couple of plants up here that are undercover underneath this little like covered walkway space. So yeah, there's a couple of plants over there. And let's go into the house. So coming up the front steps, we obviously have the front door. We go in and we're in the main living space. So this space, like I said, is a little bit more cramped than I usually build. So we have the little like living room space. We have some toddler toys because they do have a little toddler living here. So there is a couple of toys around the space. We have some old records over there by the record player. They do have a little TV. I feel like maybe this is something that the grandmother got when, you know, her son and his family moved in because, you know, they are a little bit younger. They do have a toddler. Maybe they like watching cartoons or whatever. So I feel like this is something that's fairly new to the house. Like she just got this because they moved in. So yeah, we have a little rocking chair over there as well. Then we have a little like dining room set up with some tables, not tables, a table, a single one, a table, some chairs, a little high chair. We have a little tea set. We also have the oven over here in this corner with a slow cooker as well. Then we have a little matching fridge. They're actually from Jungle Adventures, by the way. I love the color combinations and how just bright and colorful and like cheery this whole place is. But yeah, we do have some open counter space. Obviously, they do not have a dishwasher, so they do have to hand wash all of their dishes, which is what I do personally as well. So I feel that very much. It sucks, but I feel that in my soul. So yeah, they do have to hand wash their dishes, but they also have a little mixer over here as well. Then they have obviously a little kettle because I needed to put that in here. I will be putting that in every single bowl that I do from now on. And we also have a little cookbook with what looks like, you know, handwritten recipes that maybe the grandmother has written out. She's also really into cooking as well. So that is why I gave her a mixer and a slow cooker and, you know, all of that stuff. So yeah, that's the little kitchen space, the little living room space. Then over here we actually have the bathroom. The son is actually in the bathroom at the moment. So yeah, they do have some double sinks over here. They have one of the new squat toilets and a little shower tub combo. Then they also have a little chamber pot over here as a toddler potty that came with the new pack. So yeah, they do have that. And then going upstairs this is actually where they have the little like desk office set up for the dad and his wife to maybe get some work done. So yeah, they do have that. They also have the washing machines and stuff like that in the corner up here as well. And then this is kind of like the main bedroom in the main house, I guess you would say. So this is the parents' bedroom. I apologize, my dog just started barking. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but yeah, sorry if you can. But yeah, so they do have the new double bed that came with the pack. I don't know why I wanted to say one of the new beds, because there is only one bed in the new pack. But yeah, they have the new bed from the pack. And as you can see, I did put in a couple more, I guess, not modern things, but like they would have been purchased recently. So they have the bedside tables from the Dream Home Decorator pack, and you know, maybe a dresser that looks a little bit more new-ish, like they just got it. You know, the mirror, stuff like that. And that is intentional, because I feel like when they moved here, maybe they got new stuff or they brought stuff from their old house and it didn't exactly match the style that the grandmother might have had in this space. So yeah, they do have that. And then they also obviously have a little toddler room up here as well. It's fairly small, but you could obviously, you know, move some stuff around, fit in a proper single bed once the toddler ages up into a child and all of that stuff. But they do have a couple of toys. They have a little bookcase. They have a like big teddy bear, a little doll's house, some more blocks, and you know, all of that fun stuff. Now going back outside and downstairs, we have the grandmother's little like separate bedroom, ensuite, suite, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, you come in, there's this little like entryway where I do have a little keepsake box, because I feel like she would definitely keep, you know, childhood things and, you know, like collectible things from, you know, when her children were young and from the grandchildren, you know, all of that stuff. She would definitely keep those things. There's also a little dresser over here. I do have a dresser over there as well from the Growing Together pack, I believe. But yeah, we have another one over here that acts kind of as like a little side table as well. There's a chair, like a little comfy chair in the corner. We have a bed from Island Living, actually. I love the way this bed looks with the items from the new pack. And then she also actually has her own separate bathroom that I did not put a squat toilet in intentionally, because I feel like I've spoken to a couple of simmers from Southeast Asia and places where they do have squat toilets as a regular thing. And I feel like a lot of them have said that, you know, for older people, it's not really as accessible, obviously, because a lot of older people can't like squat down the way you would have to because of health reasons or just age or, you know, whatever. So she does have a normal toilet over here, and obviously just a little shower, sink, laundry basket. And that is basically it for this build, you guys. I do have a couple of lot traits on this. I have the Homey, Peace and Quiet, and Sunny Aspect lot traits. And then I did give it the Mold lot challenge, purely because this lot, where it's based, is right next to the water. It's in a probably a very humid climate as well. Speaking as someone from a place like this, where we do live really close to the ocean, it is very humid. Mold is just a thing that happens, especially in older houses, which is what I feel like this house would be. Maybe the back is a little bit more of a new addition, but the main house itself is probably a couple of years old. Like, the grandmother has been living here for a while. So, you know, I feel like mold realistically could be an issue that they run into. So yeah, that is basically it for this house. And yeah, if you want to download it, is up on the gallery. There is no custom content, but it's not pack restricted, like I mentioned in the voiceover. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you know, give the video a like. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more Sims content, feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. An absolutely huge thank you to my channel members for all of your continued support of me and the channel, and just helping me like be able to do this more full-time and put out more content and spend more time on content as well. So yeah, I do really appreciate every single one of you. I hope you all have a great like New Year's and Christmas and all of that fun stuff. The next video on the channel, like I said, will be coming out next week, but it will not be a Christmas build. I mentioned on Twitter I will not be doing any Christmas or holiday appropriate builds this year for obvious reasons. But the next video that comes out on the channel probably won't be until after Christmas. So if you guys celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a fantastic Christmas. If you know, you do something fun, or if you're with family, or if you're alone, or you know, no matter what you do, even if you don't celebrate, I still hope you have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. And I will talk to you all in my very next video. Bye everyone.